Hey y'all, and welcome back to the College Vine YouTube channel. Before we get started today, remember to subscribe below to make sure you don't miss any of our top college application tips or test prep strategies. And if you find this video helpful, we would love it if you go ahead and click the like button below and share it with your friends on social media. Let's get started with today's advice. This video's topic is one of the most important steps in your high school journey, and that's choosing your classes. While choosing classes might seem like a pretty small detail in light of the big picture of high school and the college admissions process, in fact, choosing the right classes in high school can have a really long-term impact on the options that are available to you when you start to look at colleges. So, in order to keep all of your options open, it's important to consider a few key factors as you select your course load. In this video, we're going to give you an overview of those factors that you need to think about as you select your high school classes. However, before you can really start to decide on your high school classes, you'll need to have a solid understanding of all of the options that are generally available to you. So let's dive right in by talking about what are the different types of high school classes. Most high schools offer a combination of rigorous courses to choose from. The courses are, in order of rising difficulty, college prep or CP courses, honors courses, advanced placement or AP classes, and international baccalaureate or IB. Not all high schools offer every one of those 4 tracks, but those are the general terms that you might encounter when it comes time to select your own classes. College prep or CP classes are basic high school courses that are designed to prepare you for college level coursework. They're typically the base level classes provided at most high schools, non-honors or non-AP or IB classes, aside from trade or vocational classes. Most students who intend to apply to highly selective schools in college will try to load up on more challenging classes and only take college prep courses to meet prereqs and other requirements, or in a subject area in which students know they really can't achieve a B or above in a more challenging course. Honors classes are slightly more advanced than typical college prep classes. They're still considered prep for college, of course, but they usually go into the subject matter a bit more deeply and provide a more thorough overview of the topics. Moving up in difficulty, we have advanced placement courses or AP classes. They're yet another step up in terms of difficulty and depth. AP classes are a set of standardized courses that are meant to cover one semester's worth of college level coursework. They culminate in a formal performance-based evaluation or standardized exam, and students who do well enough may be awarded college credit or be able to place out of introductory level classes once they get to college. And lastly, international baccalaureate or IB classes are typically the most difficult courses available to high school students, but they're generally less widely available, at least in the United States, than AP classes. The IB program is international in scope, and earning an IB diploma requires that you take certain courses and fulfill additional academic and extracurricular obligations. Now let's talk about GPA and level of difficulty. So when you choose your classes, you should always aim to challenge yourself while also setting yourself up for attainable success. Elite colleges will expect you to have taken a full course load of probably the most rigorous and fast-paced classes that are offered at your high school, but it is important to keep in mind that an A in a standard level math class, say, is better than a C in AP BC calculus. If your school offers AP or IB courses and you are looking to apply to an elite or extremely selective university, you should aim to take as many of those AP or IBs as is feasible. That number varies from student to student as well as from school to school. Look at the precedents. If students in the past have only taken 4 AP courses per year and successfully been accepted to elite colleges, that's likely the number that you should aim to take as well. If you find yourself taking much fewer or many more AP or IB classes than is the norm at your school, you might want to reconsider that plan. Taking too many advanced classes can prevent you from spending your time in other really valuable ways, such as developing your college applications and your essays or participating fully in extracurricular activities, which are also important for your application. Keep in mind that one of the most important factors in the college admissions process will be your grades expressed in your GPA. That means that when you're selecting courses, you should do so with an eye on maximizing your weighted GPA. Most, if not all, schools nowadays offer weighting, that's extra grade points for AP and honors courses. So that means that when you take an AP or an honors class, you have the chance to earn more grade points than you would in a traditional placement class, like a college prep CP class that we were talking about earlier. The specifics do vary from one school to another, but the weighting typically offered by schools averages around 5 points out of 100 for honors courses and 10 points out of 100 for AP courses, with international baccalaureate courses receiving a similar grade point bump to AP. That's about 10 points. You should always be thinking about your weighted GPA when you select your classes. Even if your school sends transcripts to colleges with unweighted GPA listed, the College Admissions Committee will likely take the difficulty of your classes into consideration anyway before evaluating you for admission, so you want to at least be keeping that weighted GPA in mind. For example, it's great to get a bunch of 100s in college prep classes, but it would be even better for you to get a 96 in an honors level course or a 93 in an AP course. Getting an 100 in a college prep course is an impressive accomplishment, but in the eyes of college admissions counselors, it's actually less impressive than a slightly lower score and thus a higher weighted score in an AP or an IB class. Now, clearly you can't predict exactly what your grade will be in any given class as you're looking to take it, but you can probably make a reasonable estimate. Your course selection should strongly take all of those estimates into account. And when in doubt, we always recommend that if you believe you can pull a B or above in a higher level class, you should take the leap and go for that higher level class. Next, let's talk about course load and how many classes is too many classes. The answer to this question does vary from school to school. In general, the most important thing to do is to make sure that you challenge yourself within reason. Your heaviest course load should be focused on your junior and senior years, so to show colleges that you are challenging yourself increasingly as you get older through high school. Ideally, if your aim is to get into a highly selective college, your freshman year you would take 1 to 2 college prep courses and 3 to 4 honors courses. Sophomore year, you'd work in 2 to 3 AP classes with the remainder honors, before working your way up to 4 or 5 AP classes for each of your junior and your senior years. Because the college applications process is so time-consuming, it's not uncommon for students to drop a course in their senior year of high school just to work on your application. That said, you should not do this unless your course load going into senior year is really heavy and it's totally unmanageable. In other words, if you're a student who took a heavy course load in junior year, then it might be wise to drop 1 class in senior year. However, if you did not really take that heavy of a course load in junior year, it may not be the smartest decision to drop a course into an even less heavy course load in your senior year. The best resource you have in this scenario is look at what students in previous years at your high school have done. Often it's helpful to talk to those students who may have been accepted to elite colleges at which you plan to apply. See how many classes those students took and ask them how they managed that workload. Most likely, those students will graciously answer any questions you have if you reach out to them respectfully. Ultimately, though, your course decisions should reflect, first and foremost, your actual genuine academic interests. While continuity and rigor are 2 good factors to strive for in selecting your courses, in the end, you should plan to take the classes that actually excite you the most. Truly, it's in those classes that you'll do your best work, and they'll ultimately help you the most on your applications. You might ask next, what if my high school just doesn't offer AP classes? Well, some schools don't offer APs for a wide variety of reasons, and if that's the case at your school, you do not need to worry. Part of the admissions committee's job is to understand how to read a student's application by placing them in the context of your high school. That means that if your school just didn't offer AP or IB courses, you won't be expected to have taken them because your school didn't offer them. In many cases, schools that do not offer AP or IB courses will nevertheless offer classes of varying difficulty, so maybe they'll have basic, standard, and honors version of the same subject. If that's the case at your school, you should discuss with your teachers the possibility of sitting for an AP or IB exam at the end of the year. Often, honors level classes will end up teaching much of the same material that's covered in the AP or IB course, and then that allows you to score pretty highly on the final exam without necessarily having taken the course itself. In addition, you can always self-study for AP tests in other subject areas. That's not a requirement, but it does demonstrate a unique level of commitment and ambition to make the most of the opportunities that you do have in high school. To learn more about the options available if your school doesn't have an AP program, check out our blog post, What If My School Doesn't Offer AP or IB Courses? That blog post is linked in the comments below this video for your utmost convenience. You might also ask, what about specialized programs? So some students have their sights set on a really specialized career path or a specific major or program in a college. If you're targeting some sort of really specialized program, that's maybe a business major, an accelerated medical program, or a 5-year co-op master's program, it makes sense to target your course load toward that goal, especially in junior and senior year. You want to take the classes that match to that specific field. So for example, if you're looking to get into a 7-year medical program, taking AP physics, chemistry, and biology is important. If you're looking to get into a 5-year master's program in engineering, or more generally a top-tier engineering school, AP Calculus, AB, and BC are both a must, And not to mention, you need to learn math skills that will have value when you get into engineering school. You also want to take AP Physics and AP Chemistry. Adding AP Statistics and AP Computer Science, if offered, is a good way to show your commitment to and passion for the field of engineering. Overall, course selection is an important and sometimes overlooked part of the college admissions process, so you want to make sure to take all of these factors into account as you're choosing which classes each semester and each year. For more information about selecting the right high school classes for you, don't miss all of the blog posts that we're linking below. And for more general guidance on applying to college, visit us online at app.collegefind.com. That's it for today. Thank you, as always, for visiting us here at the College Find YouTube channel. And if you're applying to college this season, best of luck.